Our frontal lobes are developing, our Saturns are returning, and we're transitioning from girl to woman. So today I want to talk about what that looks like to really step into your full embodied womanhood era and leaving some of the tendencies and the habits of being a girl in the past while still honoring her, loving her, but doing the most as a woman and stepping into our most powerful, beautiful, grown selves. When I think about the girl version of me, I think of somebody who is trying to figure it out, right? Like we're growing up, we're kind of unsure of ourselves, and we're kind of relying on everybody else to tell us what to do. We're trying to live up to everybody's expectations. We're trying to people please. And we're just figuring out like, who even am I and what do I want? And the woman version is just somebody who is confident. She knows what she wants. She's intuitive. She listens to her heart and she truly lives a life that is heart-led. And that is a beautiful thing. It's not always perfect. It's a journey. We're all on the girlhood spectrum, okay? But we're going to go over 5 tips today to start stepping into the woman version of you. Tip number 1, shut up, like stop talking. And this has been so difficult for me being a very straightforward and social person. It's really hard to hold back and have boundaries in any form of conversation, but a real woman isn't giving her energy to everybody. She is becoming a little bit unavailable, a little bit hard to reach. And she's okay knowing that not everybody is for her and that she's not just at everybody's beck and call all the time. Like being a strong woman is saying what you mean when you want, when makes sense for you, not over-explaining yourself, not having to have a story behind everything. I got a drink with a friend a couple of weeks ago and they were a little awkward, which I didn't take too seriously because we're all so awkward and that's just our world these days, right? But what made it awkward was that they texted me after like this whole explanation and paragraph about, oh, I'm so sorry if I was awkward. I hope that I didn't come off weird. A grown-ass woman, when she makes a mistake socially, or she's a little bit awkward or acts a little unhinged, she's just going to live with that. She's going to stand on business. She's not going to over-explain herself and try to people please and have everybody endorse what went down. Like, just move on with your life. Stop trying to get everybody to like you and be a little bit discerning in where you spend your time, your energy, and your voice. Shutting the fuck up can be one of the best habits of a grown woman. Another tip to step in your grown woman era is learning skills, being autonomous, being educated, being community oriented, picking up maybe a self-defense class or a gardening class, learning things as a woman and taking care of yourself, taking care of your household, generating skills. I think that skills are something that are taught to us a lot when we're young, we're in school and we go to college, but then after that, a lot of us stop learning. There's a lot of misconceptions once we're adults about learning skills, and people think that you're in your masculine and it's going to take you out of your femininity. But I couldn't disagree more. I feel like when you are somebody who is well-traveled, you're learning another language, you know how to cook, you read. Like, God forbid a girl is smart. I think it's like the most grown woman, attractive, just like luxurious and beautiful thing when you are putting all of this love into yourself and into your skills. It's not about how you look. It's about being the best you can be and just like growing yourself as a person. What's better than that? When I walk in somewhere and I see a woman who is fashionable, she's smart, she's talking with confidence, and she is just screaming grown woman. She's seen some shit, right? It is so respectable. And have you ever talked to a woman where in conversation, she's just so passionate about what she's talking about and so smart, and you know that she's had a lot of experiences in her life and she's strong and convicted in what she believes in, nothing is more beautiful than that. Tip number 3 for stepping into your grown woman era is regulating, being emotionally mature, slowing down, and being patient. And this is hard when you're an ambitious woman and you just want to move and you're like passionate and want to see things through. But I'm constantly reminding myself, when I'm patient in making a decision, when I am really being thoughtful and intentional about where I'm going and what steps I want to make in my life, I am doing that for me. It's not for anyone else. It is for my own well-being, and so that I can be very well-intentioned and not be making emotional, reactive decisions. Girls who are emotionally immature and just learning, they are giving every single emotion time of day, right? Not every feeling deserves a whole reaction. And part of maturing and becoming a woman is understanding that when things come up, it might just be a thought. It might not be reality. You can go ahead and stop that thought and not let your mind wander down that path and save yourself some time and energy that is unwarranted. You have to be protective of your peace. Being regulated is making mistakes and still trusting yourself and knowing that that's just part of being human. You don't need to put yourself down. You don't need to tear yourself up and stop believing yourself. Like, you really learn as you get older that it's not that deep and that you can go ahead and stop obsessing about any negative thing in your life and just like go ahead and enjoy your day. The difference between a girl and a woman when it comes to emotional maturity is not being a victim to everything that's happening to you. Not making every little situation into some drama. Being a woman is being an alchemist. Being a woman is going through hard times, seeing some shit, witnessing hard moments in life. Like, that is something that we all go through, but alchemizing it into something beautiful. Stepping into the next chapter with more knowledge of who you are, what the world is, and applying that to future situations with a more open, loving heart that is based in maturity and groundedness. Tip number 4, and I'm going to hold you by your ponytail while I say this, is to pull it together. When I think of a young girl like me in college, I think about just being messy in every way, like not taking the best care of myself, being kind of all over the place. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. We all go through that season, but it is really taking all of the small measures to make sure that you're not feeling crazy. Okay. So like when you're in your car and you have coffee cups all over the place, when you get gas, it's picking up all the coffee cups and making sure you throw them away when you get gas, wiping down your windshield, wiping down the inside of your car. When you get out of your car and you have all of your bags and everything from the day, like taking that inside with you and cleaning all of that out once you enter the house, not just throwing it down on the couch. It's the small ways of making sure that our space is reflective of our inner world so that we can operate in our most full self that truly impacts our whole lives. Like, you really have to be intentional about the little things, living within your means, not spending money on anything that you want, not going broke, trying to look rich. It is being okay with delayed gratification, working out for how you feel instead of how you look, just pulling it together, taking care of yourself. You have to protect your peace by taking care of yourself as if your life depends on it, because it does. So many people grow up, but they don't take care of their space. They don't take care of their things. They don't take care of their body. And even if they end up making a lot of money or being successful in some areas, they crash out. If you're not pulling it together and reining it in and make sure that all of your growth you're having as a woman has a space to ground into, it's going to spiral out of control and you're going to end up back in your girlhood era when you're middle-aged. Let's not do that, ladies. Okay, my last tip is to trust yourself. And this can be really hard when, as women, we're taught to rely on everybody else's opinion to guide us. It really is owning your decisions, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, and doing it in a way that is still keeping an open heart instead of closing ourselves off. It's such a hard balance to be like, I'm going to have boundaries and do what I want and protect my peace, yet still be a woman who is having a tender heart and treating my intuition as the sacred magic that it is. As women, we are gifted by God the gift of understanding, the gift of intuition, of discernment. And we know deep down what's right and what's in alignment for us. And even if it's not perfect, a real woman, a grown woman knows that no decision that she makes can be wrong as long as she can alchemize it, as long as she can look at it and say, I will either learn from this or it'll be the best thing for me, but I'm going to move forward with intentionality and be proud of my decision as a woman. And when I think of a wise woman, like sitting down with a grandmother who has lived a lot of life, I don't think of somebody who is asking everybody else what to do. I think of somebody who is very convicted in what her gut is telling her. And I also think of somebody who isn't bitter towards the world. I think of a wise, beautiful, respectful woman, and I think of somebody who is loving and who has grace for other people and for herself. And I think that that's something that we all can step into, is like trusting our intuition and giving ourselves grace and living in a way that just like shines out towards other people, where we can be understanding, not in a way that's looking down on people, but just like understanding where they're coming from and having this deep inner knowing that everything is happening for a reason and that we will be okay no matter what. Listen, I do not have it all together. This is something that I'm exploring and growing through as I'm getting into my late 20s. And especially since I became a mom, like going from girl to woman is such a messy journey. It is not linear. It is very confusing at times. And so this is a lot of information that I've also been thinking about and growing into. And I keep reminding myself that as we mature, it's not about feeling ready. It's not about feeling like a grown, powerful woman all the time. It's about acting ready. It's about choosing to step into her each day. It's not going to be perfect, but it can be intentional. And then it kind of naturally flows as we continue to make those choices. It can be hard to become a woman and say goodbye to the girl that we once were, because it feels like a piece of us that we're leaving behind. But I don't think it needs to be that way. I think that girl inside of us will always be there, even when we're old ladies. Stepping into our womanhood is guiding her. It is the most loving thing that we can do for our inner child and that girl that's always going to be inside of us. It is mothering her. It is giving her all of this wisdom and love and grace that she needs and protecting her. It's about having a growth mindset and bringing her along with us and showing her the way and knowing that we're still going to have little girl moments, even when we are middle-aged, even when we're older. That is what being a woman is, right? We are highly emotional and multidimensional creatures, but it's a growth mindset. It's about trying to anchor into not a grown, like professional woman version of ourselves, but just like the most bold, luxurious, juicy, passionate, proud version of ourselves. Our little girl inside of us deserves to see us be that too. Those are my 5 tips for you guys. And this one definitely feels a little deep and personal because it is just sensitive. It's sensitive to move out of your 20s and become a new version of you. But how beautiful is that? We love to see it. We love us living our best life. We love us holding hands with our younger selves and saying, come with me. Come join me on this journey. We're going to make your dreams come true, baby girl. Love you. It is like the most selfless, beautiful, loving thing that we can do for ourselves. If you are growing from girl to woman, I want to know what your experience is and like what you're going through, because this is such a awkward time and it's like we don't even talk about it. When we're this age, it's like going through puberty again. It's just weird. It's like we're all feeling like we're leaving the old us in the past. It's really hard to let go of her, but we don't want to be her anymore. Like we want to grow into the new version of ourselves, but we don't know what that looks like yet. So it can be a little isolating. And if you want to talk about it, hit me up. You can send me a DM on socials at Hiking is Hot. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.